What's up, YouTube? I'm back at you with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my prediction for the Ole Miss versus Auburn game. And Auburn's coming off a loss to Georgia, and Ole Miss is coming off a victory against Vanderbilt. I'm going to just give you the stats for both teams. And Ole Miss is looking like a team, that's doing very, very well this season, guys. Of course, they lost Matt Corral at quarterback. Now they have Jackson Dart from USC that's playing now, and he's starting to get his groove. Settling down the offense. And Ole Miss is primarily a rushing team. They're very lethal in their rushing attack, guys. And like I said, I'm just give you a couple of stats for both teams. Like I said, Ole Miss is coming off of beating Vanderbilt 52-28. Vanderbilt was playing pretty well in that game, but eventually Ole Miss was able to up it up a notch in their offense and be able to win the game handily. As far as Auburn, they're coming off a huge loss to Georgia, 42-10. Auburn wasn't able to get in their groove. They went on the road to play Georgia in Athens, and they just couldn't settle down offensively. We know at this point Auburn is not really that good of a team overall right now. They can't, get anything done offensively. They're playing Robbie Ashford, and he's not, their starting quarterback and everything like that. But Auburn has some issues. Like I said, they're 3-3 on the season. Ole Miss is 6-0. One team is on the rise, and the other team probably looking at a situation where they're going to lose their head coach, after this season. But I'm gonna give you some stats on the game. Auburn points per game, they're averaging 20.3 points a game. So, like I said, that's not very good. Ole Miss is averaging 39.7 a game. So they have the advantage in that category for points per game. Points allowed per game, Auburn is only allowing 25 points per game. Ole Miss is allowing 14.5. So Ole Miss been playing pretty well. They improved on the defensive side of the ball this season. So that's good to see for Ole Miss. So they have the advantage there. Total yardage, Auburn is getting 367.2 yards a game. Ole Miss is averaging 490.3 yards per game. So Ole Miss has the advantage there. You want to break that down for total yardage. Ole Miss is getting an average of 248.3 yards per game, and they're averaging 242 yards on the ground. So very balanced attack. Auburn is averaging 218 yards in the air, and they're averaging 148 on the ground. So, like I said, Auburn doesn't have an advantage so far from the stats that I'm looking at. Yards allowed, Auburn is allowing 359.8 yards per game. Ole Miss is only averaging 330.2. So, like I said, Ole Miss has the clear advantage in all categories. If you want to break down the allowed yardage, like versus pass versus rush, Auburn is getting or allowing 196 on the pass yards. They're allowing 196 pass yards, and they're allowing 163 on the ground. Like I said, that's bad news going against this Ole Miss team. On the flip side, Ole Miss is allowing 212 yards per game passing, and they're allowing 117 yards on the ground. So that's pretty good for Ole Miss guys, being able to stop the game, the rush like that. So that's pretty good. Like I said, Auburn has 3 losses this season. They lost to Penn State 41-12. Penn State, I think, traveled to Auburn this season and was able to win huge over Auburn and Jordan Hare. So huge victory. Auburn beat Missouri, but they only, Missouri could have won that game if the guy didn't, drop the ball right before he crossed the goal line. So, but nevertheless, Auburn won that game, but that could have been a loss for them. They lost to LSU 21-17, which was a close game. Auburn actually was in the lead that game, but they gave up their lead. I think they was up 17 points, and I guess LSU scored 21 unanswered points on them, so they lost that game. Then, of course, game at Athens to Georgia, they lost 42-10. So, like I said, Auburn hasn't been a really good team this season. Been struggling both defensively and offensively. Like I said, Ole Miss beat uh, Georgia Tech, Tulsa. They got a close victory against Kentucky. Kentucky, I think, was ranked number 7 at the time, and they beat them 22-19. That was a game that I felt like Kentucky could have won. They got down to the end zone twice, but Will Levis, I think, fumbled twice in that game. So that was a close game for Ole Miss, but they got the victory. Their defense played a huge role in them getting that victory. And, of course, against Vanderbilt was hanging in there with them, but they was able to get the victory. And I'm going to just give you the total stats from both games, last games. Ole Miss was able to get 591 total offense against Vanderbilt. They got 448 passing in the air, so Jackson Dart lit Vanderbilt up in the air. And it was able to get 143 rushing on Vanderbilt, so that's pretty good. Vanderbilt got 403 yards on them. Vanderbilt was able to pass for 281, and they was able to rush for 122, so Ole Miss had their game in hand. As far as Auburn and Georgia, Georgia was able to get 500 total yards offense. Georgia got 208 passing, and they got 292 rushing. So Georgia didn't really pass the ball as much on Auburn, but they was able to rush on Auburn. So meanwhile, Auburn only got 258 total offense, and they was only able to get 165 passing and 93 rushing. So Georgia did a good job defensively on both sides, So if I had to give my prediction for this game, guys, I'm going with Ole Miss to win this game. If I had to give a score, I'm thinking somewhere between maybe 38 to 17. Yeah, 38-17. I think Ole Miss is going to run away with it. And then the game it is in Oxford, Mississippi, so Auburn got to travel there. I think Ole Miss wins big, 38-17, and get a huge victory and go 7-0. I think they're going to be 7-0. Yeah, I think Ole Miss goes 7-0, and Auburn takes another tough loss. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. And once again, if you haven't, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.